But let's just jump into this. We got a lot of topics I want to cover today. First one is Senator Tommy Tuberville, okay? So, Senator Tuberville from Alabama halted almost all military promotions for nearly a year in protest of the Pentagon policies allowing abortion access for service members. So what's going on here is Tommy Tuberville has been blocking all of these promotions for military members. And the reason why he's doing it is because the military allows its service members to go from one state that does not allow abortion to another state to have an abortion. Now, I'm very anti-abortion. Very anti-abortion. But I'm also a realist, okay? We have voted in most of these states, any state that has pretty much allowed it, that we want abortion as a nation. That has to mean something. That has to mean something when, as a nation, we're saying, hey, we got the information. This is what we choose to do. Whether it's selfish or not, we are choosing to do this as a nation. And to block our military members because you don't agree with something that we're choosing to do as a nation is ridiculous. It doesn't stop that. It doesn't stop abortions. No one's was like, oh, Tommy Tuberville doesn't want me to have an abortion, so I'm not going to have it. But what it did do was stop our military members from being promoted, which means that the top echelon were the important decision makers, the people that we need to have in place in order to make decisions at crucial times are not in that place. And yes, we have people in those places. A lot of those people are working several jobs across the military just to try to fill the lack of people that are allowed to be promoted. We've had high-level generals go to the emergency room because they had too much stress from how much they have. Because Tommy Tuberville thinks that if he wants something, it is okay to do whatever he wants and block our military from able to perform its job. One of my biggest issues with Republicans, I'm an independent, okay? True independent. Not one of those like, oh, I'm Democrat, but I kind of, am independent, or I'm Republican, I'm kind of independent. Like it's one of the nice things to say. Every single topic needs to be done by itself. And when you talk about the Republicans, I like their ideas. I like Tommy Tuberville's idea. His idea is great, that we should not have abortions. But Republicans follow through, and the way they choose to do things are really messed up. You know what would be great? If Tommy Tuberville said, hey, you know what? We shouldn't have abortions. They're wrong. They're horrible. And I see that the people want it because they feel that they need it. So what I'm going to do as a senator is I'm going to work on actually fixing the things that make them want an abortion or make them feel like they need an abortion. I'm going to work on getting paid medical leave, for the family. So I guess we already have, I'm saying that the wrong way. Paid leave, maternal leave, and paternal leave. Let them actually have time with their kid. Allow them to get paid to have time with their kid. We need to get access to childcare to be greatly reduced. I mean, if you can't even afford to take your kid to have someone watch them while you go to work so you can make money to put food and a roof over their head, how do you feel like you can have a kid? All right, there's so many things that we could be doing to actually make people feel that they don't need to have an abortion, and that's the best way to reduce it. Because as a country, we have said that is what we want to have abortions, okay? So Tommy Tuberville has used that as a reason to block our military. And he could be doing other things, but he says, you know what? The best way to stop abortions is to go after our military members. Make us feel more unsafe when we have a country like China that is ready to attack Taiwan. When we have a country like Iran who is literally shooting at our soldiers, shooting at our ships, shooting at ships of friends of ours who we protect. When we have countries like Russia, who's literally actively engaged in a war in Ukraine right now. When you have North Korea that is very much displaying that they're ready to attack South Korea and start a war, maybe even shoot something at Japan. I don't understand anyone that could support someone like Tommy Tuberville or any politician that puts their desires over the country's needs. Because do you understand that our military is a need, okay? It's not something that we just want. You know, it's not. I know a lot of people, you know, especially if you haven't been in the military, you think we spend a lot of money on the military, which we do. But I want you to understand that basically, we had that war, you know, the war on terrorism, but really that didn't really affect us as much as it affected the rest of the world. I want you to understand that that's how they had to attack us. They had to attack us at marathons and on planes and things like that, because no one can attack us and feel that they are going to win. That is important. It keeps us safe. It keeps us feeling good. It keeps other countries in line. You may not like our military because you may not like the fact that people kill other people. I mean, that's fine that you don't understand being a human. Totally get it. I'm with you. It's not nice to kill people, but it's needed in certain situations, and it's needed to deter people from killing other people. Our military is what keeps the death count in this world a lot lower. I'm not sure if you realize how much wars used to go on all the time, but the time that we're living in up until, 2 years ago has been relatively peaceful. I mean, really has, compared to what used to happen. And that's from our military projecting power. So yeah, it sucks how much money we spend on our military. I'm not saying, I just love how much it's like seeing that much money. I love seeing that the Pentagon doesn't know exactly where our money goes. They can't give us aligned items, that does suck. But what doesn't suck is that my kid gets to go to sleep without really having to worry about anything. I don't have to worry about, in Israel, rockets coming at me, Do you understand the difference between living in a country as rich as Israel but having to worry about rockets being shot at you, people kicking your door and killing your family? You have to worry about crazy Americans doing that, but you don't got to worry about other countries doing that. And there is a reason for that. You don't think the drug cartels would love to come over here and run rampant over here? You don't think they would love to do that? You don't think those drug cartels in Mexico don't see us being so rich and be like, man, I would love some of that money? But our military keeps us safe. Tommy Tuberville is trying to mess that up. So if you are a Republican, how can you vote for someone like that? I need to go to Alabama just to talk to these people. I want to hear from them exactly on why that's happening. But let's keep on going. We got more things. The good thing about what's happening is that Tommy Tuberville actually allowed 440 service members to get promoted. So he finally, relented on his desire to cripple our military. I'm sorry, there's no better way to say that. His desire to cripple our military. Now, there are about 10 to 11 of the highest ranking generals that he still didn't relent on. Now, fortunately, as soon as he relented, we didn't give him a second chance to change his mind. They immediately went to a vote, and they passed it with just a voice vote. Basically, as long as no one said that they were against it, every single military member got passed. We didn't look at any of them. I mean, we usually don't look at most of them because our military is very good at promoting itself. They put up the promotions, and unless there's something really egregious, there's no reason for the senators to stop it. The military is its own checks and balances, and obviously we have Congress that help make sure, but our military is a pretty fine oil machine when it comes to that aspect. There's some things that we need to fix, but as far as that aspect, I mean, it's pretty beautiful on how forcefully they make sure that their members are trained and ready to go, and they put the right members in positions to win and help us. And they're also pretty quick to remove people if they are needed to and put them in different positions, because our goal is to win. So anything like what Tommy Tuberville was doing does not help our military. Doesn't make me feel safer. So Biden, and this is where I gotta respect Biden here. I mean, obviously there's lots of things I disagree with him on, But he's very, very clear. He said it's needless and harmful to our military families and national security. Both Republicans and Democrats were on board with that statement. And as it drew on longer that Tommy Tuberville was blocking this, the Republicans started getting more and more forceful about this. But they still stood by Tuberville. They still thought that this one member and keeping him happy was more important than actually getting our military members promoted and getting them in positions that we needed to be. That should tell you a lot about where our politics are right now. This one person is more important than anything that we're doing because they don't want to lose votes on different items. We should never be in that position because we should always be trying to strive. Every single member of Congress, every single member of our political party should always be striving to do the best for America and not the best for their party. That is a huge issue, is that we are trying to do the best for our parties or the worst for the other party instead of actually doing what's best for America. Bothers me a lot. I hope it does bother you, but it doesn't seem that way because the people who we're voting for are the people who are doing it.